to our town hall meeting. I know you're on the road and you've been traveling all over the country, but I'm sure you've been seeing what's been happening in your hometown and what happened at Chardon last week and all of the violence. A lot of people have lost their lives here in Cleveland. What do you have to say to the young people out here?
Well, it's crazy actually. It's crazy because before the Chardon thing, I believe it was, we actually knew the guys in the homicide, the double homicide on the weekend.
That was in the house.
Over on Dove, I believe. You know what I'm saying? He was a killer and all that stuff. It was crazy. It's just kind of like that life is just not. It's just not worth it. I know even from my mistakes, and we get in fights and we get locked up. It's like those cuffs are no joke, man. Once you're in that van, and you're in that blank wall, it's a whole other ball game. So I think people really should just speaking on that incident, it's just like that was over some gambling, I think, and a couple of dollars is not worth the rest of your life, somebody else's life. And then as far as the Chardon thing goes, I think that's a lot of our mistakes because I think that a lot of kids like that are begging for the attention, are begging for help, and a lot of us just don't care to give it, and not everyone is all the way there in the head, and sometimes that's the only way that they can cry out. It's just like when you slit your wrist as a kid, it's like you do that to show that you do it. It's like a cry for attention. You do it to show people like, hey, I need help. And we don't know anything about that kid. I don't know him from a pack of people, so I don't that kid could have been crying out for help for a long time, and he could have just been problems could have been going on at home, and problems could have been going on with the other kids at school, and people just don't care to listen. So I think it's really on us to become better people to listen and really take in and stop with the discriminating on certain kids that don't look like you or don't act like you or don't fit in. It's just time to. It's 2012. It's a terrible run that we've been going on for the last decade from all the events that have gone on in the world to all the political overthrows that are going on in other countries and all just everything, the war, everything. It's just time to stand together, and I think it's just time to listen and accept other people, and I think that's what led up to that event. And for the victims and the friends of the victims and everyone who had to deal with that school period, man, Ohio is such a strong state, and we should really take pride in that. And don't be scared to mourn those people, and just keep your head up. I would hate to speak on a situation that I wasn't there for, but being a Clevelander and Ohioan and knowing that a lot of my fans go to Chardon, I just want them to know that as soon as I heard, they were in me and my team's prayers, and I do take situations like that very seriously. But I think, at the end of the day, it's on us to step up and, realize that, that doesn't come out of nowhere. A kid just doesn't take a gun to school for no reason, It's like
one thing, because I know you deal with a lot of stress and your rise to where you are right now, man. You had a lot of moments where you felt like you were alone and you didn't have anybody in your back pocket, and you faced a lot of obstacles. What can you say to a young person that maybe has all this stress on them, and they may think that violence is the way out?
You know what, man? I can't. Dude, I'm still 21. I'm still a young man. I'm still trying to figure out the same thing. Because sometimes, sometimes I fall victim to the same thing. Not to that extreme, but I think we're all just trying to. I don't know. I'm definitely trying to mature and figure out, how violence cannot be the go-to, and how drugs cannot be the go-to. I don't know, man. It's a whole different generation, and we were just. I think without good parenting, with all these terrible TV shows and the image that a lot of us put out, that's why I don't even, smoke weed on camera or do anything like that. I try to promote the least amount of things. The only thing I promote really is just having fun. However you do it. Right. I don't really care, and then you can do whatever you want. But I don't have any advice because I'm still trying to figure it out. I just know that it's never that serious where you have to go and take another man's life because that's just cowardly.
You're absolutely right. Listen, man, and your honesty about that will definitely be something that a lot of young people can relate to, because it's a difficult thing when you're going through that preteen to young person and trying to deal with your emotions and trying to figure out, as a person that's a little older than you, I will tell you that it does come in time. But when you're young, sometimes those feelings are just so hard to deal with, and you don't and you act out because that's the only thing you know what to do.
Yeah.
Well, go ahead.
I don't know. That was a crazy blow, man.
Well, MGK, listen, thank you so much for just taking a few minutes, and I know you're coming home soon, but I know that you definitely had been hurting just like all of us are hurting here, and we want to make sure that our young people know that we care about them and love them and support them and want to be there for them in any situation that gets tense and gets hectic. Let's try to figure out the nonviolent way of dealing with it.
Yeah, definitely.
Thanks, man.
All right, Kobe.
Appreciate it.
Man.
All right, we're going to check in with both of our locations, at both of our Villa locations before we wrap. And Pastor Vernon has got a couple things that he wants to say, but we got a couple calls here. Let's go to Tamika. What's up, Tamika? Real quick, what's going on? You're on Z107.9.
Hi, I just wanted to make a comment. First off, I want to give my sympathy to the callers that called.
Please turn your radio down.
Especially the young lady that lost her daughter, or her son, I'm sorry. But I just want to say that a lot of times we blame the parents. But what do you do as a parent when you know that you can't? I have a situation, my sister passed away at 29 due to some health issues, but I raised my nephew from the time he was 8 years old. We've been going to the Word Church for the last 7 years, and, I've been supportive of him financially, emotionally. It was never a sport that he played that I wasn't there, So I tried to do all I can, and then he still turned to the streets last summer. So sometimes, parents are blamed, but, I know I'm not a perfect parent. I'm not a perfect person at all. I'm in transition myself. But sometimes these children still can't do what they want to do on their own time. And I try to show them the best way. But one thing one of my friends told me, he said, no matter what, you introduce him to God. So that's a good thing. So when times get hard, he knows how to pray. He knows where to go. You know what I mean? So I know that my he's going to be okay. I used to lie to people when they asked me because he was such on the right path for a long time. I used to say, when they say, well, how's he doing? I say, he's on his way to college. But then Pastor Vernon made one, he said at one of, at church on Sunday, he said, if you're going through and nobody knows, you can't get the help that you need. He said, if you're going through, let people know so they can intercede for you. So he was over, my nephew was actually over the children, not over the children's ministry, but he was volunteering every Sunday for the children's ministry. So every day.